Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. It is such a pleasure. It is Friday, it's a holiday, and we are drinking Prosecco. It means it's aperitivo hour. So it's a great way to start this long weekend. Without further ado, I would like to welcome today Giuseppe Bonfaci from Masottina, who will be joining us this evening. Hi, Giuseppe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Giuseppe Bonfaci. I work in the export department of Masottina. Nice to meet you all. And then we have also, let me announce it, we have a last minute surprise because my colleague from marketing department, Miss Roberta Surini, has joined me here to explain better what we do here in Masottina.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Roberta. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is such a treat.
Thank you so much to you to lead this tasting for us.
Okay, so I guess it's very exciting, but before we taste anything tonight, there's a lot of special things that we need to learn about the two Proseccos that we're going to be drinking tonight. So maybe, Giuseppe, you can walk us through a little bit about the background of Masottina and other facts and things that, you know, we want to learn about what we're drinking tonight so that we can enjoy it better.
Okay, so just a few words about Masottina Winery before talking of RDO Levante Extra Dry and the Conegliano Valdobbiadene DOCG Contrada Granda Extra Dry, which are the Prosecco that have been awarded by Wine Spectator and Decanter last year. So Masottina basically is located in Conegliano and owned by the family Dal Bianco since 1946. So now the winery is run by the third generation with Federico and Filippo, who are respectively the marketing director and Filippo, the sales director. But everything is supervised by their father, Adriano, who is the president and winemaker. We produce all the kind of Prosecco. Oh, thank you very much for the presentation. It is much easier to. So this one is the RDO Levante Extra Dry, our very top Prosecco. And then later on, Roberta is going to explain a little bit what RDO means. And this one has been awarded by Wine Spectator. And the other one, if you can upload the other slide about the Contrada, here we go. And then the Contrada Granda Extra Dry, Conegliano Valdobbiadene Prosecco Superiore being awarded by Decanter and gained 96 points, which is a very high rate for a Prosecco, because usually these kind of high rates are reserved only for red wines. So we are very proud of being awarded by this amazing magazine. Anyway, I was saying that Masottina produce all kind of Prosecco, which means from the very top, Prosecco from small microzones in the hilly area called Rive, to the mass market Prosecco, which is the DOC Treviso, the appellation. And I don't want to bother you further, so let's get into the two products straight away. What do you say, Stephanie?
Yes, I mean, we all want to drink, right? So we want to get to know what we're going to drink and dive into it. So I'm actually very excited because, you know, I think a lot of people tend to think of Prosecco as sort of like a replacement for other sparklings that are more famous, but really it's a wine all on its own. And it's really exciting to learn more. I mean, a lot of people here are already very familiar. Some of the familiar faces that I know about wines, but it's always nice to remember that Prosecco is made with a completely different grape in a completely different way. So that's what makes it special, right?
Yes, right. So basically, three things that you should know about Prosecco is that the grape variety Prosecco is made of, it's called Clara, which is an aromatic grape varieties that gives to the Prosecco that specific unrecognizable aromas, which aromas that features apple, green, pear, like fruity and fresh flowers such as wisteria flowers and those kind of stuff. The second fact is that Prosecco can be only produced in Italy, which is very important because people think that if they can produce Prosecco outside Italy, but it's not true. And then the third one is that despite champagne method, that the second fermentation is that process that gives bubble to the wine, if you want, doesn't in Prosecco takes place in a big tank rather than in bottles such as the champagne. In this way, we can retain and keep the primary aromas contained in the grapes.
Freshness, right? Like a lot more freshness. Yeah.
And drinkability as well.
Perfect for this weather. Drinkability is very important because we all like to drink here.
Exactly. So if you open a bottle of Prosecco, you must at least drink 3 glasses, I guess.
You for sure. Less.
Yeah. That's why.
You know what I say? A good Prosecco is like one of your favorite friends that you can bring to any party because like they're always welcome, they're always pleasant and happy, you know, gets along with everybody.
And I give you a little bit trick. So when you buy a bottle of Prosecco, you always have to check this little neck, let's say neck label, and this one means that is a properly Prosecco. So it's certified by the Ministry of Agriculture in Italy, which is a proper Prosecco. So that is very important because sometimes, you know, people try to sell like generic sparkling wine from Italy, saying that is Prosecco, which is easier for them to, you know, but this is like cheating.
To market. It's like that branding. Well, today we're going to dive straight into the top of the Prosecco right now. So I'm looking forward to trying this very special bottle right here.
Okay, so we can open the bottle, and in the meanwhile, my colleague Roberta is going to explain a little bit about the packaging, what RDO means, and then we can taste it together. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's go, Roberta.
Okay, so here you have the bottle that you probably are going to see. Is RDO. RDO is a registered name from Masottina. That stands for Rive di Ogliano. Rive di Ogliano is like a crew of the Conegliano Valdobbiadene di OCG, and we are nearby Conegliano city. And Ogliano is also the headquarters of all our vineyards and also of our pressing and vinification center. And the Rive di Ogliano is for us the top of our products. We produce in this version that is with the red cup. The red cup was introduced from the beginning, and this is why we maintain it also with this new vintage, that is the 2020, and soon as this year will be also the 2021. Red cup because is also connected with passion and also with this important product that is produced in vineyards with vines that are over 50 years old. And this is really amazing, also because we have freshness and acidity, and this is why we decided that the best way to produce this wine is with the extra dry typology, so a little bit more sugar, but in order to balance the perfect harmonia with the acidity of this product. And new label, new logos. And why? Because last year we celebrated the 25th anniversary of birthday of Masottina, and we decided to rebrand all the entire lines of our Proseccos and sparkling wines. And the first thing that we did is to redesign the logo that now is an M, that is our hand that we designed for ourselves. And also all the line that we are going to see, also the other product, was completely redesigned with a specific color and a mention of the product that of where they are coming from. And Giuseppe is going to show you all the product that we have. And all the products are divided by collection, and every collection has the name of a specific location that for us is very important. In this case is Ogliano, so the RDO. But let us tasting, I think.
Thanks, Roberta.
Okay. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you so much. So we can try a little bit and pour some. I know some of you are tasting with us, so that you can explain to us as well, Giuseppe, like what is so special about how this particular bottle is made, where it comes from. If I recall, when we were discussing before this event, it comes from a very particular place, right?
Yes, right. So basically, as Roberta said before, Rive means steep slopes. And on the DOCG area, there are 43 rive, so 43 microzones. This microzone is called Ogliano. And Ogliano is located in the eastern part of the Conegliano area, in the hilly part. And this place is very special because we have two different influences. From the south, we have the Adriatic Sea breezes. And from the north, we have other breezes coming in the afternoon from a mountain place called Fadalto, but you don't have to know it. Just to know that it's from the mountain. And it's
so cool, very cool breeze.
Wind.
Yeah, cooling.
Exactly.
So for that acidity and freshness, right?
Exactly. And this is very special. There you go. As I said before, Adriatic Sea from the south, and from the north, there is the Alps influence, which are the mountains. And it's very important for two reasons, as Stephanie said before, because it cools down the area, so can keep the acidity on the grapes, which is very important in the sparkling wines. And the second fact is that wind can dry out the area, so there is less probability that
humidity.
Yeah, exactly. This is spread out in the vineyard, so we have very healthy grape variety. Grapes. And having healthy grapes means having an outstanding product, such as this one. Another thing that we have to keep in mind is that in this, in Conegliano and the Rive area, you only have to hand pick grapes, so you can keep the integrity of the berry.
Yeah,
and
so they don't get crushed, you know. Exactly. Very delicate. And you know, I think this is what makes this particular wine so special, is that it's that handcrafted touch. And you know, it's one of the things that are quite special about old world wines, and in particular, you know, Masottina, you still have this sort of like hand-picked quality and knowledge, artisanal knowledge, right?
Yes, exactly. And another thing that I would like to point out in the back label, you can read this little word. It's called Levante. Levante means east facing, because we have two RDO. The first one is this one, which is extra dry and comes from a vineyard, east facing, and then the brut version, which is Ponente, which means west facing. Eastern facing, as Roberta said before, we have more sunshine.
More sun, more sun, so more sugar, more sweetness.
So that's why we have a higher residual sugar, which is the perfect element for the extra dry version. So
okay. All right. So, well, do you want to start with a tasting and then move on to other facts about this wine as well?
Yeah, sure. Or you can dive your nose into the glass and tell me what
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Oh gosh, the pressure. Okay. Well, it's quite floral. You know, there's that sort of like honeysuckle flower that is the first thing that I get, sort of like white flowers, right?
Honeysuckles is one of the benchmark aromas of Prosecco. So you spot it.
Yeah. Maybe like some sweet almond as well, a little bit, and then it's still that zestiness too. So
and then I would also say a little bit of like a grapefruit, a little bit of apricot as well.
It's a lot zestier in the palate too. So it's like rounder, sweeter on the nose, and then zestier and fresher, like when you take a sip. It's nice balance as well, which makes it a perfect drink for the summer holidays.
Yes, but not too balanced, because there's the acidity that invites you to drink more and more as well. So it's very refreshing, which is,
it is.
And then I'd like you to have a sip. Now, you can have a sip and then assess the perlage, because perlage is another element that everybody has to assess. If you have a very silky
this is
perlage,
very fine. This is
fine.
very fine compared to most Proseccos, which tend to have like larger bubbles. This is very, very fine.
Usually small bubbles means quality. So like very broadly speaking, but it's good enough to recognize if sparkling wine is good or not. Yeah,
definitely. Which makes it easier to drink, to be honest. It's one of these things that you start drinking and then before you know it, you finish a bottle, right? I mean, I'm by the beach right now, so I will definitely take this bottle out after we're done here. But yes, I mean,
but please share the bottle with your friends. Don't drink it yourself.
No, I won't drink it all. I will share. But yeah, so I think what makes it very special is it's very refined. So you still have all these qualities of Prosecco, but a very refined. It's not trying to be, and I think this is what most sparkling or people think, like the nec plus ultra of sparkling wine is to emulate champagne, but Prosecco is in a class of its own. It's got a different kind of freshness, different kind of like floral, approachable quality, but this is a very refined version of that, which is very nice.
Yes, definitely.
And then, so what would you have this with, like food wise? Sorry, let me just jump in here. What recommendations would you have for this?
Okay, so I don't want to say that, okay, of course we have an aperitivo hour, so perfect for it. But this one is a Prosecco that have a little bit of, has a little bit of structure, as we have said. So we can pair it with the, I don't know, I know that there in the Philippines, there are a lot of spicy, like, and you eat a lot of meat, such as like beef, pork,
Asian flavors.
Yeah, and this one is extra dry, having a little bit of sugar, is perfect for spicy, because it can like quench your thirst, you know? And then,
so maybe like actually I'm thinking more Thai, Vietnamese food, and you know that might go well. And you know, quite funnily enough,
even with meat, because it has the structure to stand a meat, maybe white meat, I would say, like a chicken, or something that includes super flavored ingredients such as garlic, oil, that kind of stuff. And you know, here in Europe, we say that we drink it with a very greasy dishes such as French fries, because it cleans the palate, like the acidity and bubble cleans the palate.
Yeah,
exactly,
definitely.
And you can do the same with your local foods there, I guess.
Okay. Anything else would you like to talk about this? Yeah,
sure. Because I don't know if you know, but when people talk about extra dry, they think about sweet sparkling wines. But Masottina, since like I would say 5 years ago, they have decided to focus on brut version. So brut means less sugar.
Yeah.
And even our extra dry have just, how can I say, just
like
enough,
minimal, like,
yeah, the minimum just to be labeled extra dry. For example, this one is only 13.5 residual sugar. So very low. Usually extra dry are around 17, 19 gram liters.
I actually feel like, you know, honestly, if someone just handed it to me, because I'm quite sensitive to, you know, especially when you're drinking quite a bit of it, anything that has too much residual sugar. But I don't really feel that, you know, like it has just enough to keep things really like fresh and pleasant and wanting more without being too acidic, or just, it's very pleasant to drink, you know.
Yeah. And yes, so basically this one, and another thing is that this one is a millesimato. Millesimato means that they have vintage on the label, which means that all the grape used to produce these ones come from a single year.
Yeah. So guys, I know some of you are actually tasting alongside us today. And if you are, feel free to write comments or questions in the chat box that you might have that we can answer along the way, just to make it more engaging and more fun. So if you have a bottle of this at home, please type in the comment section what you think. If you've tried it with us, what are you tasting? What would you have it with, you know? And share a little bit with us your thoughts or your questions. Yeah. So Giuseppe, so should we move to the next bottle?
Yes, maybe Roberta.
She might have some comments.
Yeah, she just wanted to say something. Maybe something about Wine Spectator Award. Okay, Adriel, could you turn on Roberta's microphone, please? Yeah. Okay. No, cannot do it.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to do it for you?
Yeah. Okay. Here, let me try.
Okay, now I'm fine. Thank you. Yes, just only one thing that I want to add is that that also it was in the invitation of this event, that is that RDO this year and Levante was nominated in the top 100 wines of the year for Wine Spectator. This is really a great result for us because it's really one of the top magazine, of course, that we have all around the world in the wine sector. But most important, this is the first year that Prosecco appear with the mention Rive. So it's the first Rive ever that entered this important competition. And the list and the competition is achieved after 1 year of tasting that Wine Spectator did in 2021. And by the end of the year, they nominated 100 wines in top of the world of wine. And usually you have a lot of Italian wines. We are great for this, but is the only Prosecco that was mentioned this year, is the second Prosecco ever, but most important is the first Rive. And we are really glad to have this important recognition because it's one of the most important wine that we produce. So just only this.
Congratulations. It is quite an achievement. And, you know, you can really tell by the finesse of the Prosecco and the sort of refinement. And I want to comment as well here on how beautiful the bottle is. You know, I think,
thank you.
I love the sort of like pared back and more sleek look of the bottle and the nice red cap. I think it's very chic bottle to bring to a dinner or so it matches the refinement, you know. I want to thank you so much, Roberta.
Just only Adriel, please open the microphone of Giuseppe, please. I don't know why it's closed. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberta.
Yes, as you said before, if you like, our packaging is very refined because this one, the packaging wants to reflect the Masottina philosophy, which means no embellishment on the bottle to attract people, eye-catching. Yeah,
it's
but
just
you have
the
to
product
focus,
itself.
Yeah, you have to focus on the quality inside. So it's elegant. You try the bottle, you try the wines, and you buy again because of the wines, not because
I like it.
It's not.
I think that's very special. No need for embellishments. I like that.
Exactly.
I would like to remark here on Ed Delgado's comment in the chat. So he says, I'm drinking a bottle now. I think this pairs well with Chinese, Filipino, Korean, Japanese foods that have a lot of umami. And funny enough, Ed, actually, when I was tasting it, I was thinking of Japanese food. Like, you know, this would go really well at like a sushi, sashimi, omakase dinner, like at the sort of like right by the sushi table, and then the chefs bring out all these things. You got the soy sauce, the wasabi, the fatty fish, and this is like a perfect pair to all of that. I'm thinking like sashimi, like hotate scallops, you know, really nice, beautiful raw Hokkaido scallops. And I'm getting hungry. I don't have any sashimi here. I wish I did, but I think that would be a perfect match for this, or even just salmon sashimi, which is very oily. Or toro with that soy sauce and the wasabi. This would just really brighten everything and, you know, really match together. So yeah, nice.
So because usually wines with high acidity, that goes very well with this kind of umami. So and this one has high acidity as well. So let's go.
Shall we move on to the next bottle?
Yeah.
Okay. Here.
You go. So Roberta, would you like to say something about the Contrada Granda? Thanks.
I have it.
Okay, Roberta's microphone on, please.
Okay, so can we have Roberta's microphone on, please? Yes.
Now it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so here we have Masottina Contrada Granda. Contrada Granda is the collection that we created in order to promote our DOCG wines, so the Conegliano Valdobbiadene Prosecco Superiore DOCG. Contrada Granda is the name of the ancient town of Conegliano, the historical part that also today we have. And we dedicated to this because, in order to support, of course, the city of Conegliano, but most important also because the family is where the family is has the origin. And Contrada Granda in this case is also something that we wanted to connect with the way how we have the winemaking of this wine. In which terms? The way how we produce the DOCG is the old ways, the traditional one, that is a balance as a mix of different wines that belongs from the old part of the Conegliano Valdobbiadene, not just only a specific part like Conegliano or like Valdobbiadene, but the balance between fruity, aromas, minerals, and all these elements is connected with a specific part of the DOCG. And this is the whole recipe that from the beginning gave the birth of the Conegliano Valdobbiadene, that is two names. Why? Because it's a mix between two soul and two region. And this is why also we dedicated to an historical name. And this is the extra dry version. We have also the brut version. All the collection has a distinguished color that is the cap color. In this case, is gray. That is, in this case, the best elegant color that we have. And I can add also here that also this wine has an important price, won an important price last year from Decanter in this case. It was established as the wine of the year with 95 points by Decanter. But most important is the only sparkling wine, Italian sparkling wine that we have in this list. And another important thing is that is the second wine in general from Italy in this important part. So we are really, really happy to achieve this important recognition. So
congratulations again. Yes, very excited to taste this. Again, I really do like the elegant packaging. It's very special and a lot like very sleek, you know. And you know, I think we always like enjoy with our eyes first, right? So it's always nice to see a nice bottle that's appetizing and enticing. Okay, so let's try and open this without making a noise. Adele, can you put back Giuseppe's unmute him, please? Yep, I think you're back. Are you back? Okay.
I'm back.
There we go. Giuseppe.
I've already opened it. I was already drinking.
Let me. I'm not there yet. Let's see. There's so many of my sommelier friends I see here. Yep. There's Chi as well of 5.5 twists. So I can never get the quiet. I'm not strong enough. I have more tendency to knock someone's eye out. So, you know, let's see. Okay. So
I can say that this one, as Roberta said before, comes from the DOCG area, which is still all the DOCG area is hilly area, as we have learned before. Hilly area are the best sites where growing the grapes. So when you drink it, this one still have a superior quality.
Wow. So this is a lot zestier than the other one, isn't it? You can see it like more green apple, like
yes,
zestier than the other one was very notably floral, and this is a lot zestier.
More sugar as well, so the body is a little bit exactly
rounder.
Yeah.
So zestier on the nose, but rounder on the palate, no?
Yeah.
That's exactly. Sort of like sweeter on the palate.
And also, I would say that the perlage is less aggressive than the other one. The other one was a little like a punchy perlage. This one is more silkier as well. So, for example, this one is very. Go on.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, I would say that, for example, this one, you compare it, you said that you are at seaside right now, right?
Yes.
So this is great to be paired with like a fruit salad, I would say.
A fruit salad?
Yeah.
Or maybe just put some fruits and macerate them, that might be nice too. But with like a fruit salad, definitely.
Yes, I think
but
easy.
It's an easy drink, easy drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually could be nice as well with some hard cheeses, like at this time of the day, where you know different types of cheeses and just to sort of like balance
to create
that saltiness.
A contrast between wines and foods as well.
That saltiness and then the sweetness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So I would, because I was jotting down some notes here, like preparing myself for this meeting, and I say that this can go with the bittersweet tidbits or some nice recipes with dry fruits such as peanuts, hazelnut, nuts, just to create this, because they are like dry fruits have sugar inside, so sugar goes with sugar. So this might be, I would say,
maybe like an Indonesian satay might be nice with this, right? A little bit grilled, and then the peanutty flavor of the satay, and you know there's a bit of that palm sugar in there. That might be nice too.
Yes, I'm not that expert of like
I like to eat
word food, but I trust you.
I like to eat and I like to drink. So,
so is there any comment and thought from the audience?
Yeah, is
drinking
anyone drinking this? Is there anybody drinking this today? Maybe raise their hands. Which kinds of cheeses do you recommend for these wines, Lisa?
I don't know. I don't know which cheese you have there right there.
Yeah,
but I would say
mean,
like I would say something fresh, not too old.
Like
because
a goat cheese, maybe
like older and old cheeses, you need I would say something sweet, more sweet than this one, you know, such as like some Sauternes, those kind of wines. You need something
maybe a
easier.
chèvre, like a light goat cheese, like a chèvre, you know,
yes, exactly.
Something like that would be really nice. Maybe topped with a little bit of honey and nuts and dried fruit.
Exactly.
Caisson Petit, that could be nice. Soft, creamy to there's cheese, our resident expert here. Soft, creamy cheeses. Yeah, I actually really like white wines and sparkling wines with sort of the goat cheese, right? With that soft cheeses. It's nice, yeah. But fresh, because it's also tart, right? The goat cheese is tart but creamy. Then if you add a little bit of that honey or jam or compote, could mix quite nicely.
I don't know what's Caisson. I don't know if
Caisson
I pronounce
Petit.
it.
So Caisson Petit. Okay, so it is our local buffalo milk or local cow's milk. So it's not mozzarella, but it's made in the same way, more or less, from our local Carabao milk. So and it's very good. So I guess the texture is something like a mozzarella, right? Like but
understand.
Yeah, a bit harder in texture, less creamy, milky. Yeah.
As they said, you never stop learning.
Yeah, more flavorful. It is. It's saltier. It's salt. It's like a in between, like a feta halloumi mozzarella, right? It's got a bit more of a salt to it. Yeah.
And what can I add? I can add that all our wines are vegan, suitable for vegan. I don't know if you have, if it's important here where you.
You know what? It's not a big market, but it's a growing market. So there are a lot of vegan vegetarians now. So that because there's no yeast in it, correct?
No, yes, they don't use any during the winemaking process. They don't use any byproducts coming from like animal byproducts. And it's only like you know, sometimes for clarification, they use some animal byproducts such as eggs or fish glue, that kind of stuff. We don't use any of those.
To clarify the wine, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
so go on.
It's something more that we always point out, because just to say that our wines are like genuine in a sort of way.
Which is what I do appreciate about, that sort of old world knowledge, and we keep we keep the wine's integrity as much as we can, right? So Giuseppe, I have a question for you. What do you love the most about Prosecco? What is so special about it for you?
So I was born in this area. So the very first wine I drank in my life was Prosecco. So
how old? Because I have a story.
12 years old. Joking.
Yeah, there you go. Because I remember I was very fortunate. My mother took me to Italy. For the first time, I was 9 years old. And they sat me in a table next to a little boy who was also 9 years old. And he got a little wine with water in his drink. And I'm like, why don't I have any? Where's my wine?
Apart from that, so what's special for me? I started when I used to go to university in Padua. They launched the spritz. Spritz was like Prosecco and Aperol. So I I know this wine, and then at one point I decided not to add Aperol because it was disgraceful for this one, and so I kept drinking Prosecco. That's it. And it's something that you can. It's very versatile wines, so you can drink by itself because it's not that heavy. You can drink at 11 in the morning. You can drink at 3 p.m. You can drink it at 9 after lunch, during lunch, and
or for breakfast.
I think that
that's for breakfast on a Sunday. That's very acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. And then my favorite. I don't know if you know risotto.
Yes.
So that's my favorite dishes, and risotto and Prosecco pairs very well. Especially.
Oh, really? What kind of risotto? Which particular? I mean, there's so many variations, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I would say that if you go, for example, risotto with, do you know asparagus?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. And asparagus is notoriously hard to pair.
Exactly. But if you add the asparagus to the risotto, then you have the butter and the risotto itself that mitigate the flavors of asparagus, and then it goes very well with this with Prosecco. It's great, believe me. And another one is risotto with like seafood, any kind of. I would say, come si dice gamberetti?
Shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, shrimp.
A little bit, a little bit of onions, and then shrimps on the top of the risotto, and then you drink it with this one. It's great.
Fantastic. I like that. I will try it with asparagus, actually, that I'm looking for, because I love asparagus, but I always find it so difficult. I get so confused what to pair with what. Like, I brought out really beautiful asparagus and put them back in the fridge because it doesn't match with the wine that I want to drink tonight. Yeah. So, so I will try that. That's a wonderful
We'll try
suggestion.
With the risotto.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to remind everybody at this moment that please, we have about 15 minutes or so, like to continue the discussion. And please write in the chat box if you have any comments or questions, any suggestions, what you would like to hear from Giuseppe or Roberta or from me. We welcome that.
I would say that one of the goal of this event, it is try to switch from the DOC Prosecco to the DOCG Prosecco.
Yeah.
Increase your wine and enogastronomic experience, because if you go all around the world, you mainly find the DOC Prosecco, which, as I said at the beginning of this event, is the mass market Prosecco. So now we have the time to move on. It's the time to move on and to increase your wine experience.
To move up. Yeah. Move up.
As the famous quote says, life is too short to drink bad wine. So let's go.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah, let's spend $10 more, but you will be happy at the end of when you have ended up drinking it with the bottle. Yeah.
And I feel like in the last event that we did together, which was about a year or so ago, or right? I really had a different appreciation for Prosecco. I think many people here in the Philippines in general think of it as just like cheaper alternative to like fancier sparklings. But Masottina has been instrumental in sort of changing, at least personally, the way I see Prosecco and really elevating the experience, and that it sort of functions in its own right, and really taking it to pair with your meals, as opposed to just having it there to keep on drinking, which you can too. But particularly with the RDO, I mean, I'm very excited to share that bottle with my friends today. And I'm sure that they will also find it really special and really nice,
Yes. And then if you, if you offer the RDO to your friends, also you have loads of arguments and stories to tell behind the label. It is not just a Prosecco. We have talked about microzones, we have talked about method, we have talked, so there's loads to say behind these kind of labels.
Fantastic. Okay. Now, maybe we can bring on anything else that maybe you want to add to this. If you guys have any other questions, or maybe Roberta wants to add before we move on to
the. Okay, I have now the audio. Just only a curiosity that I want to add, because when you were discussing about the pairing and also about the RDO, I want to add also an experience that we have here in a one-star Michelin restaurant. Last year, when we proposed the RDO, was also to have a little aging of this wine. In fact, they have in the wine list also wine from the 2014 and 2016. Of course, it's not like aging a champagne that have really a long age. Is different because how is so beautiful Prosecco, because it's a young and fresh wine, and of course it's not the aging the main goals. But in order to explain that this is really a great wine, of course the time and evolution is really nice. And in fact, Wine Spectator also give the prize to a wine after 2 years from the harvest. And especially a pairing that we tried last year was a RDO Levante, so this one, the 2020, with lamb. That is really unusual because it's, of course, it's meat, and usually you are speaking about aperitivo, you're speaking about vegetables, you're speaking about first dishes. But we tried this pairing that was really, really amazing. A lamb that was really, really tender, and also with a creamy that was made by vegetables. And it was really, really a nice pairing and really unusual, because also we didn't expect this. Yeah. So my suggestion is also to discover different pairing depending on what you really like in terms of food, in terms of wine. But sometimes also unusual pairing are really, really nice to try. So, yeah.
Fantastic. I would like to try that. I suppose a very tender, succulent lamb would be something interesting. And like you said, to be adventurous. So, I encourage everyone out there. I know it's not just the people here on the Zoom, but there are people out there watching. This is also a Facebook Live. So good evening again to everyone. In case you just hopped on now, I'm sure this is going to be up on the page for a while. So we are here tasting some lovely Proseccos from Masottina. And so scrub ahead so you can see what else that we've discovered and tasted, and really be adventurous, because I love this wonderful, more refined iteration of Prosecco and really changing the way we can perceive this wine, right? Okay, thank you so much, Roberta. Thank you so much, Giuseppe. Maybe we can bring in Bea as well here. Bea, can we bring you in too into the discussion?
Stephanie. Yes, actually, we were able to get some questions sent directly to us. So I have one here. Do these Prosecco, especially the RDO, do they age well?
Okay, I think Roberta addressed that earlier, so maybe we can bring Roberta into the screen.
The first time that Masottina produced the RDO was 2010. That was the first year that a Prosecco producer are able to produce a Rive. And I had, it was really an honor when I started to work in Masottina in 2020 to have a tasting from the beginning, from the first vintage, so 2010. And I have to say, honestly, that was really, really amazing. Of course, you don't have to expect what you have usual in the Prosecco, so freshness, all this kind of perfume, fresh fruit, fresh flower, etc. But the Rive di Ogliano are quite famous also because you can have some notes from like spiciness. And when you have vintages wine, you have the spices that are growing. So again, is a discovery. You must be brave also to taste some Prosecco. And my suggestion is also to buy 2 bottles at least. Better more, but 2 bottles. One you keep it in your cellar and you just age it, and you discover after a few years, and you are going to discover really an evolution of this wine. So it's a wine that, of course, it wasn't designed from the beginning in order to be aged, but if you really produce it, respecting the time of the nature, respecting the time of the vineyards, respecting the times in the winery, the result is also that the time after, when you have in the bottle, you can aging and you can have surprise. Really, really nice surprise.
Very exciting. So and it's interesting because, you know, no one really knows right now how it's going to age because it's just completely new. So we're in the journey with you. So we're all going to discover that with you and how it becomes more complex.
At least I can say that they can age for 12 years because it was the first bottle that we produced. It was 2010, and I had the honor to taste, and it was really great. Of course, it's depending how you storage the bottle and everything, but this is for all the wines, not just only for this
Exciting. One. Okay. Bea, do we have any other questions?
Yeah, I have this interesting question, actually. I'd like to ask all 3 of you. If these 2 wines were artists, who would they be and why? So this could be singers, Hollywood actors, etc. But we'd like to hear an input from all 3 of you. That's great.
Oh, wow. I have to think. How about Giuseppe? Does he have any suggestions? I'm usually asking that question. That's not fair. Now I have to think. Giuseppe, do you have any thoughts? Oh, he's on mute. Let's unmute him, please.
I think I didn't really get the question.
Okay, so if they were to be a personality, an artist, someone famous, who would it be? Yeah.
Oh, I would say like Jennifer Lawrence because I love her. Simply like that. So I would say that the extra is a little bit female, if you want, a female characteristic, because it's sweet, you know. All the women are sweet, and I don't want to be too romantic, but you know, so.
But you're Italian. You're supposed to be.
Yeah, of course. So please, if Jennifer Lawrence, you are attending this event, please contact me later on Facebook privately.
So I was actually thinking for the RDO, someone like, well, you said artist, so I thought of a musician actually, like not so much how she looks, but her music, like Diana Krall, like sort of it's jazzy, easy, smooth, nice to listen to, but can be light, and she or even Stacey Kent, but like this very beautiful sing-songy voice. Or you know what, if we're gonna go, maybe Carla Bruni, and her music is also yeah, this is
but she was married with Sarkozy, I guess, the French president. So I don't know if it's the right choice.
Okay. Any other questions?
And Roberta?
No, please.
No.
Oh no, please.
It's a secret. She doesn't want to say.
Well, okay. I think we can wrap up there. If there are any other questions from the audience, please feel free to message us, and we can send an email right after this event addressing all of your questions. But yes, that was a very informative and engaging session. So let's move on to the part where most of you, I'm sure, are waiting for. So the giveaway question. Let's please present the slide. So what is the main grape varietal used in Prosecco? So, yes.
Okay.
Please do text your answer, complete name, and email address to the mobile number flashed on the screen. Winners will be receiving...
Don't Google it.
Winners will be receiving a confirmation message within the next 24 hours. So let's just give a bit of time.
Fantastic.
So,
yes,
good luck to everyone.
The main grape varietal used in Prosecco? We mentioned that at the very beginning of this event. So hopefully you listen because it is a very unique and very special grape. Okay.
So,
all right.
I think I'm getting some comments that the number is quite blurry, Stephanie. So I'll just dictate that out loud for the benefit of everyone. So that is 0915-340-3992. And we are accepting answers until 7 p.m. tonight.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bea. Thank you again, everybody tonight who joined us. And thank you, of course, Giuseppe and Roberta who joined us today. It's always a pleasure. This is my second time learning more about Masottina wines. And it's my time to meet Roberta. So this is very special. And I would love to congratulate everyone over there and your team on these incredible accolades and achievements for Masottina. So yes, I wish you all a wonderful evening. Any last messages for everyone out there, Giuseppe or Roberta?
Drink Prosecco, especially Masottina one.
And enjoy yourself.
That. Exactly. Well, with that, chin chin, everybody, have a glass. And thank you again for everything. And I hope you enjoyed this. And please don't hesitate to contact again Estate Wine to look at their selections of Masottina Proseccos. And please do try this RDO. It's very special.
Okay. Thank you very much for everybody.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.